Alright guys, so this is it. We have the next civilization in our civilization overview will be the Bulgarians, one of the new civilizations in Definitive Edition. And let's have a look at what they have. We have an infantry and cavalry civilization is what they are classified as officially. So let's have a look at what their civilization bonuses are. Immediately off the bat, we have the militia line upgrades are free. This does give you a ton of possibilities. You don't get champion. That would have been a little overpowered if you got all the way up to champion. But just in the resources that you save from doing this is you save 100 food, 40 gold. So it's 300 and 105. So you save 600 food and 205 gold just with that first upgrade. You immediately save that, which is a massive saving. And secondly, it will give you an insanely strong men-at-arms rush. So you can basically just create militia. Your militia will automatically become men-at-arms once you reach feudal age. So you don't even need to research men-at-arms. You don't need to spend the resources to research men-at-arms. You can simply just create your militia and then they will become men-at-arms once you reach feudal age. And that will be an extremely strong men-at-arms rush. I see that being definitely the meta for this civilization is that they will do men-at-arms rush almost every game. That will be the standard for them. Although, let's have a look at the other at the other bonuses, and we'll have a look further when we see the tech tree. Second bonus for the civilization is that their town centers cost minus 50% stone. So normally when you create a town center in Castle Age, it will cost you 275 wood and 100 stone. With the Bulgarians, you save 50% on that. So what that means, well, let's create a scenario. If you are attacked in early feudal age or anytime in feudal age for that matter, and you are forced to build a defensive tower that costs 125 stone, then that means that you can't build a town center immediately in Castle Age without gathering 25 stone first. With this bonus, with your town center only costing 50 stone, you can build a tower and then still have enough stone left for another town center and a half, which could be pretty useful in most games actually lately. Can build the Krepost. Now, what is the Krepost, you ask? Let's have a look. Let's scroll on. Krepost is a fortification used to train your unique unit. It costs 350 stone. It's a unique building for the Bulgarians, and units can gather inside it for protection. Archers and villagers shoot additional projectiles and cannot be converted by enemy monks. So what the Krepost is basically a miniature castle. So it's a version of your castle. Well, the differences are that you can't create your petards or trebuchets from them. You can't research any of your unique technologies or sappers or hoardings. You can't research at the Krepost. And also it costs almost half of the price of the castle. So you can build a Krepost for 350 stone, which is almost little more than half the price of a castle, to create your unique unit. And it also has, let me just compare the attack and the range with your castle. So it's 9 attack and 7 range, and the castle has 11 attack and 8 range. So it's got a little less attack and it's got 2 less attack and 1 less range than a castle. It's got about 2000 less HP than a castle, but also does cost almost half the price, and you can still create your unique unit from it. So this might be the new form of a tower rush. You basically build forward Kreposts instead of towers, and you do that early in Castle Age. So we'll see how that will play out in the higher level play. So let's go back to the civilization bonuses. Moving further, we have the unique unit, the Conic, which is definitely one of the most interesting unique units I have seen for any civilization ever. We'll have a look at it in a while, and then we'll go into more detail as to what that entails. The unique technologies that you can research for them, we'll have a look at those later as well at the cost of them, but they are in the cost that you can get stirrups, which gives your light cavalry and your conics, makes them attack 25% faster, And then you get Bulgarians in the Imperial Age, which gives your militia line +3 armor. I'm not 100% sure if this is +3 just melee armor or both melee and pierce armor. I'll have to look into that a little later. But yeah, your militia line gets +3 armor. And this also in addition to the fact that you get all of your militia line upgrades free. So you can basically get super tanky two-handed swordsman in the Imperial Age. Your team bonus is that the blacksmith works 50% faster. I know I've heard some other streamers say that the team bonus, they're not very impressed with it, but personally I think this team bonus could also be very useful. There are times when you basically, let's say early feudal age, when you're waiting for your fletching to come in and you just postponing your attack just to wait for your fletching to come in first. That will go a little bit faster for you and for your entire team. So speaking of fletching, let's go on with starting with the archery range. This is dismal, I would say. They are only the second civilization after the Spanish to not even get crossbows for Castle Age, to cap out at Feudal Age archers. So an archer flush is pretty much out of the question. You could go archers in Feudal Age, but they will be pretty useless after that. You do still get your skirmishers, you get hand cannoneer, and you get heavy cavalry archers with thumb ring and Parthian tactics. You can go for your heavy cavalry archers like I said. The problem is that they do miss the final armor upgrade. So even if you go for your heavy cavalry archers with Parthian tactics and thumb ring, you will miss that final armor upgrade, which could come down to cost you a lot in the end. You do get bracer though, so that is pretty useful at least. Now let's have a move on to the more useful part of the Bulgarians, and that is the barracks. Your militia line, you get all of your upgrades for free, so you'll get all the way up to two-handed swordsman, you get upgraded for free. That's 600 food, 205 gold that you save. And then also, like I said, you get your unique tech in the Imperial Age that also gives them an extra +3 armor. You also get the entire spear line all the way up to the halberdier. And also for all of your infantry, you do get all of the blacksmith upgrades. So you do get all the way up to blast furnace for your attack, and your melee, your armor, you get all the way up to plate mail armor. So you do get fully upgraded two-handed swordsman, not champions unfortunately. That would have been a little overpowered. And you do get fully upgraded halberdiers as well. So that is pretty good. And also you get squires, supplies, and arson. Supplies, making the militia line cost even less food. I think this is the civilization where supplies will be the most useful, because you will have your free upgrades on your entire militia line and still get them for -15 food, which is going to be massive should you decide to make use of the militia line. Then let's have a look at this stable. As with most of those civilizations, you don't get camels, you don't get elephants, and you don't get the steppe lances. You do get bloodlines, you do get husbandry in Castle Age, and both your light cavalry and knight line can be fully upgraded all the way to hussar and paladin with all of the blacksmith upgrades. So that makes them pretty strong, and then you can still figure in the fact that your light cavalry attack 25% faster. So all the way up to hussar you get plus 25% faster attack, and also all of the blacksmith upgrades. Same thing with the knight line, you get all the way up to paladins. You don't get any bonuses for the paladin per se, but you do also get all the blacksmith upgrades for them. Let's have a look at their siege workshop. This is an amazing siege workshop, to be honest. You get fully upgraded siege rams, you get siege onagers, and heavy scorpion. You do miss bombard cannon, but seeing as you get your rams and onagers fully upgraded, you won't really miss bombard cannon that much. We've already looked at the blacksmith upgrades. Just to run through it again, you get all the upgrades except you only miss the last armor upgrade on your archers, but you won't really need that because you probably won't be going archers with the civilization anyway, since you don't even get crossbows in Castle Age. Move over to the water. Of the 4 new civilizations, this is the first one that we're covering that has a pretty weak dock. We don't get fast fire ship. We don't get elite cannon galleon. We don't get heavy demo ship. We get galleon, but we don't get dry dock, and we also don't get shipwright. So your water battles will be pretty good and pretty decent up until Castle Age, but you will lose water once you hit Imperial Age against pretty much most other civilizations. Alright, so let's have a look at the university upgrades. We see we get most of the upgrades. We do miss arrow slits. I see that's a little bit of a trend with the new civilizations. Because so far all three of the ones that we've done are missing arrow slits. We do get up to keep, but we're missing bombard tower and we're missing fortified wall. Not too big of an issue here. You do still pretty much get all of the important upgrades. So it's a pretty strong university after all. So let's have a look at the castle. We're missing sappers and hoardings, but we do get conscription. Stirrups is where the light cavalry and conics attack faster. It's 400 food and 200 gold, which is pretty average priced for a Castle Age unique tech. And then Bagains giving your militia line 3, okay, it does state 3 extra melee armor. That's, well, not really a hefty price, but a pretty average price for an Imperial Age unique tech at 900 food and 450 gold. Now, let's have a look at the conic. Like I said, the most interesting unique unit you have ever seen. They are the Bulgarian unique unit, unique cavalry unit that fights on as infantry when felled. They're strong versus infantry and archers, weak versus camel riders and monks. So as with most other cavalry units, they are weak versus camels and they're weak versus monks. That is pretty much expected for a heavy cavalry unit. Their cost, you can see, is pretty much in line with the knight line, and they have, I think that's a little more base health points and attack than the knight line. The elite conic does have only 20 more HP and 2 more attack, with the 1 additional pierce armor. The elite upgrade costing 1000 food and 750 gold. But, like I said, with this unit, once it dies, you get your dismounted conic, which, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen it has 45 hit points, still the same attack but with no armor. So you get a strong infantry unit to fight on after this unit dies. I'm pretty sure that the conic is one of the units that will be nerfed a little bit after the official release of Definitive Edition. That's kind of my prediction. It will probably be nerfed, so if you watch this video sometime in the future, most likely this will have changed, but we'll see. If it doesn't change, this will definitely be overpowered in my opinion. So let's have a look over at the monastery. We have again missing quite a few technologies. We're missing atonement, which I guess it's not that important, but it is an important tech if you want to go for full-on monks. At least we do get redemption, but we're also missing sanctity again, which is a big deal for the monks. We're missing block printing for those late game longer range conversions, and we're also missing faith. Faith, not that big a deal, but block printing, atonement and sanctity, those are pretty important techs to miss in your monastery. So the economy upgrades, let's have a look. We have full gold shaft mining, stone shaft mining. We do only get up to bow saw with the Bulgarians, still missing two-man saw. Like I said before, that's not that big a deal. Mostly in competitive play, we don't always get two-man saw. Only if it goes very late game, then you might want to get two-man saw, and then it will impact your economy a bit. In the market, we are missing guilds. I know Spirit of the Law, he always does those, but he did a little calculation as to when guilds becomes worth it, how much you need to actually sell for guilds to be worth it. It is quite a lot, so it's for those long, extra long 1 hour plus matches where you use the market a lot late game. Guilds will become pretty big a deal, but up until then it's not that big an issue, but it is a technology that you might want in the late game as well. And we do get all the way up to crop rotation in the mill. So that's it for the Bulgarians. So far I think they will be the strongest civ of the new ones. Even though they're missing some important technologies, I think with the bonuses they do have, they will make for some interesting play, especially with the conic. I want to see how that plays out in professional play. I want to see how the experts use the conic and how the dismounted conic actually affects the game after you kill the conic, but then it dismounts and fights on. I want to see how that works out. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to subscribe by clicking on my face to the left. To watch what I'd like you to watch, click the top video on the right. If you'd prefer to see what YouTube thinks you should watch, then click the bottom video. So until next time, happy gaming!